All right, so this is the drawing for the multi-view of the bracket. I'm going to go ahead and start by blocking this out and drawing the front view, the right view, and the top view. So here I go. Line. I already measured this out, so my width is 3 1/4, which means it's 13 boxes in this direction, so 3.25. My height is 7 boxes, so that's 1 3/4 or 1.75. And again, 3.25. And I can close that off, and there is my front view. My top view is going to be 1 inch away. Again, it's 3.25 over. It's 2 inches deep, or 8 inches from here to here, so I can just type in 2. Again, 3.25 is my width, and bring this down, and there's my top view blocked out. Next is going to be my right view. Remember, it's a 1 inch space. Same height, so I can put my mouse here. Okay, there's my height. 2 inches is my depth. Here's my height down to here. And there is my right view blocked out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start out in the top view. I'm going to do this line here first. That's a 1/2 inch away from the top. So I'm going to go offset 0.5, enter, and I'm going to offset this down, and that's done. Next thing I'm going to do are my holes. Those are 1 inch over, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're 3/4 up, 3 boxes up. So I'm going to use offset, go 1 inch from the sides, boom, and boom. I hit escape, I hit enter to go right back into offset, and now I'm going to offset 0.75 up from the bottom. And what I've done is I've created an intersection. At this intersection is the center of this hole, and at this intersection is the center of this hole. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those. Here it is. If I type in 0.5, which is the diameter of the hole, you'll notice that that is not correct. Here's why it's not correct. So if I go here, it's asking for the radius down here. If you want to put in the diameter, you have to hit D as in dog, enter, D, enter, 0.5, enter. So you can see that this one is correct, this one is not. So I'll delete that, circle, click here, D, enter, 0.5, enter. And now I can go ahead and get rid of these. Those are done, that's done. Next order of business is I'm going to put center lines on here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to layers. I'm going to go to object and center line. After that, you need to hit D, enter, D as in dog, enter. Go to modify, go to the symbols and arrows tab, and make sure yours is on line, and make sure this is at 0.09. Yours is probably on mark, okay, which your center mark is going to look like that. You want it on line, so your center mark will look like that. So change it to line, click OK, click close, then go to the annotate tab, then go to dimension, and look for this mark right here, or this button right here. It's called center mark. So now I can go ahead and click here. I'll hit enter, and I can click here, and you can see that that is done. So my top view is essentially done. It's actually missing 2 lines up here, but we can't really do that until we're done with the front view. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do on the front view before I start. Is I'm going to go ahead and draw a line straight down from the middle. Okay. And I'm going to trim off everything on this side, and I'm actually going to delete this one as well, and I'm going to draw the left half, and I'm going to mirror the right half. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this line that goes over 0.5, comes up 0.25, and goes over 0.5 as well. So I'm going to trim this off, and I'm going to go ahead and trim all of this off right here. So I'm going to delete this, trim this off, and you can see that this is all in red. I don't want this in red. As a matter of fact, everything should be on the object layer. It's just I never changed my layer back, so I'm going to go ahead and go here, change everything to the object layer. I'm also going to go back to layers because you can see it's on centerline layer. I'm going to change that to the object layer. So this notch is done. Next order of business is I'm going to create this line right here. So from the corner, it's 3/4 of an inch over and a 1/2 inch down. So I can use offset to do this. 0.75, offset 0.75, and I can offset this over 3/4 of an inch and offset 0.5. And now all I need to do is connect these 2 lines right here. Connect that to that, and I can get rid of everything else. So those 2 lines can go away, and I can trim off these 2 lines right here, and it's going to look like that. So that is essentially my front view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this entire thing. I'm going to go to mirror, which is right here. I'm going to select the first point of the mirror line, click, click. I do not want to erase my source object, so I just hit enter, and there that is right there. And now I can delete the line in the middle. I don't need the line in the middle. There's two of them because I actually mirrored that, but that is the front view right there. Okay. Other than that, we need a line up here that's 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to go offset 0.75, and I'm going to offset this line up like that. Instead of doing that multiple times, I'm just going to click here on the grip and drag this guy straight out till it hits there. Drag this guy straight out until it hits there, and that is this line right here. Okay. All I have left to do in my front view is put the holes in. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line. I'm going to go to this quadrant right here, bring this straight down, and draw that from there to there. Okay, hit enter. Go to this quadrant, hold it there for a second. Go from there to there. Do the same thing over here. Go from here to here. Go from here to here. Trim all of these off. Clean them up. Change all of these to the hidden layer. It should look something like that. Now I need my center line, so I'm going to go here. Draw it from there to there. Okay, trim these off. This one should be trimmed off. I don't need that line right there. These lines should actually be sticking up about 1/8 of an inch, so 0.125. You just grab onto the grip, drag it down, and type in 0.125. So they're actually sticking outside of the object line. 0.125, 0.125, and now I need to change these two to the center line layer. Layer, center line, and it's done. You can see the problem that I have here is that you can't see the breaks in the center line, so you need to change what's called your line type scale. So you type in LTS, enter, and we'll try 0.5. That looks better right there. That should work. That works fine. So that works. So my front view is complete. It's done. My top view I can now finish. A lot of people miss this, but you should actually have a line that projects from this point to right here. And so this goes up here, and same thing from right here. So project this point right here, and I project this straight up. And those are object lines. And what's happening at this point is this is where it starts to angle downward. And at this point is where it starts to angle downward. So a lot of people forget those lines right there, but those should definitely be there. Okay. The other thing that I've missed is I've missed the notches. So I need to start here and go there. And the notches go all the way through. So go here. And again, the notches go all the way through. Those should be hidden lines, so I'll go ahead and select that, layer, and change those to hidden. And so now the top view and the front view are 100% complete. Okay, I'll go ahead and draw the right view. I'm going to use offset, go up 0.75 right here, and I'm going to go offset over 0.5 from here, and trim off what I don't need. I don't need this anymore, I don't need this, and I don't need this, and I don't need this. So that's essentially what your right view looks like. I've got to do a little bit of projecting. For example, I need to project this point straight over. That should go across here. Trim this off. That's what that would look like because that's where the angled line is coming to a stop right there. The notch as well. I would see this line going all the way across. Okay, so I'm going to start here. It's going to go all the way across, trim off what I don't need. And that is what that should look like right there. The last thing that I'm going to need here is I'm going to need the hole or the holes represented. So in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and draw a line up off the left side of the right view. Draw a line over from the bottom of the top view. Where those intersect, I'm going to need a line at a 45-degree angle. So I'll just type in, I don't know, 4 tab 45. That's going to give me a 4-inch line at 45 degrees. It's going to look something like that. Okay. In order to do this, all I do is go down here to the quadrant, okay, and just go to that point right there and bring this line straight down. And then I'm going to go to the quadrant, hold it there, go here, and bring this line straight down. And now I can trim off all of this stuff right here. Oop, I missed that one. And these two right here would be hidden lines. So that looks something like that. Last but not least, I'm going to need the center line, so that's going to go from here like that. Again, trim this off, trim, trim. I want to go up 1/8 of an inch so it sticks out of my object line, and go down 1/8 of an inch, and then change this to the center line layer. Okay, last but not least, I do want to see your 45-degree miter line, so just select all of that and put this on the construction layer, which means it will be here, but it just won't print. And so that would be your completed front view. You can see it looks just like it does over here. Your completed top view, it has everything that does plus these 2 lines that we're missing, and then your completed right view, which has this line here as well as the holes represented, and this would be the bracket. If you want to put in the text now, what I suggest doing is selecting some other text, hit Control C. For whatever reason, it takes a little while for that to happen, and then you can hit Control V, and here's this, and I can just double click on this, and I can change the text to set to, and I can change this to say bracket, and I can click off of it. And so now that's done, and then my next video will be drawing this in isometric.